All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the regularly scheduled Evans City Council meeting for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. My name is Mark Clark. I'm the mayor. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Clark.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Pletka.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Neal. Present. Councilmember Crabtree.
Here.
Councilmember Delaney.
Here.
Councilmember Fair.
All right, next item on our agenda is the proclamation for the Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month for 2025. Whereas suicide can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income level, or background. And whereas over 49,000 deaths annually are attributed to suicide, with suicide rates in Colorado ranking 6th nationally and 67 Weld County lives lost to suicide in 2024. And whereas through collaborative efforts of North Range Behavioral Health, Suicide Education and Support Services, Imagine Zero of Weld County and other support is available. And whereas September is recognized as National Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month with the goal of challenging stigma around mental health and promoting awareness around suicide prevention. And whereas helping others to feel seen, valued, and supported is one of the most important things we can do to prevent suicide. We encourage all residents to learn how to talk about mental health, become familiar with national and local suicide prevention resources, and check in on your family, friends, and neighbors. Now, therefore, I, Mark Clark, Mayor of the City of Evans, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month in the City of Evans and call upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of behavioral health and the need for appropriate, accessible services for all citizens. In witness to, whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Evans the second day of September 2025. And I do believe there is a member here, Shwana Kramer, here to accept this proclamation.
No, we just want to take a moment to thank the community, the Evans community, for recognizing September as Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. The truth is, more of us have been impacted by suicide than not. So you all taking the time this evening helps us with our mission of encouraging folks to reach out for help, but also ending suicides in Weld County as well. So thank you all very much.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, next item on our agenda is audience participation. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to address City Council on any item that is not on the agenda or of a public hearing? If so, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record. All right, seeing none. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Madam Clerk, any changes to the agenda?
No, Mayor.
All right, I would entertain a motion. All right, I have a motion, a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor, let's vote. And that motion carries 7-0. All right, next item on our agenda, item 7, consent agenda. 7A, approval of the August 19th, 2025 City Council meeting minutes. Item 7B, consideration of ordinance number 844-25, dedicating the public right-of-way Liberty Draw filing number 2, first replat, second reading. Item 7C, consideration of ordinance number 845-25, amending chapters 9.32.150 of the Evans Municipal Code concerning hunting permits, second reading. Item 7D, appointment of an alternate member to the Planning Commission. And I would entertain a motion. Oh, and I just got kicked out. Great. All right, just give me a second. Sorry about that. That kicked me out. All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. And that motion passes 7-0. All right, next item on the agenda, old business. Item number 8A, consideration, public hearing, consideration of a hotel and restaurant on-premise liquor license for Aritos Taco Shack LLC located at 2920 37th Street. I'll open the public hearing and hear from staff.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. The city received an application for a new liquor license from Juan Martinez, registered agent for Doritos Taco Shack LLC. The application is for consideration of a hotel restaurant liquor license to sell alcoholic beverages for consumption on the premises at 2909 37th Street. This liquor license was submitted for concurrent review with the city, which also allows the State Liquor Enforcement Division to process the application while the city is considering the application as well. For the record, these are the following findings based on their application. Notice of public hearing. The city received the application on June 30th, 2025. The notice of public hearing on this matter was posted on the property and published in the Greeley Tribune on or before August 8th, 2025. The applicant is entitled to possession of the premises. The applicant has applied for a state sales tax license and city business license and sales tax license. For local and state zoning, selling liquor in the manner proposed in the application is subject to zoning, fire, building, and other applicable laws for the city of Evans and the state of Colorado. 2909 37th Street is Zone C1, Neighborhood Commercial, which allows for retail uses indoor, including restaurants. Proximity to schools. The building premises where selling or serving alcohol will be conducted does not appear to be within 500 feet of any public or parochial school or principal campus to any college. Previous denial. There has not been within 2 years preceding the date of the application a denial for an application for a hotel restaurant liquor license at this location. Needs and desires of the neighborhood. So the applicant conducted a survey within the 1 mile boundary, which is shown on the screen above, of the premises to convey the needs and desires of the neighborhood. The petition returned 48 residences in favor of the proposed license, with 0 residences opposed. Upon review of the petition, it was determined that 1 address was not filled in and 1 address was outside of the 1 mile boundary. There are 3 other hotel and restaurant liquor licenses within the 1 mile radius of 2909 37th Street. There's 1 beer and wine, 3 retail liquor stores, 4 FMB wine, and that is it. The moral character of the applicant included in your packet this evening was a memo from the Evans Police Department showing that the background checks came back satisfactory for the owners of Doritos Taco Shack LLC and the manager, Clarissa Martinez. The public hearing on the application was opened on August 19th and continued until tonight. The applicant is here and is available to answer any questions for you. Staff recommends that the findings were, or the application meets the findings and the criteria for issuing a liquor license, and she's available to answer any of your questions.
Great, thank you, Julie. All right, any questions of staff and or of the applicant? I am not seeing,
Oh, wait, I can't. Sorry, I'm trying to get the question.
did they kick you out?
It doesn't when you're
I
looking
didn't,
at.
I didn't have
Oh,
to
okay.
just start
Here.
it. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm in
Go
front
ahead,
of you.
go ahead, go ahead.
She's here, that's why.
Councilmember Johnson, go
I
ahead.
was like, maybe it's.
Oh, you're good.
So my question is, you're in the same little shopping area where like Mavericks is and Frida's and so because it's a public hearing, I'm just trying to ask, how long have you been there?
We've only been there for 8 months now. We started January 2nd of this year.
That was that other Mexican restaurant, yeah.
Burritos, taco
Yes,
burritos?
yes, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I'm just trying to get.
No, you're good, yeah.
No, thank you.
Any other questions?
Does this no, that's all the questions I have, public hearing.
All right. All right, seeing no other additional questions, I would ask, since this is a public hearing, if there's anybody in the audience that wishes to speak for or against this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I will go ahead and close the public hearing, entertain any council discussion and or a motion.
I am excited for them to be there. It's always great to, have new businesses with, different and bringing different diversity in foods and places for us to try. So I'm excited.
Yeah, welcome. Glad to have you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate it. My parents already have prior businesses, but this is our first restaurant, and it has gone really well for us as well.
Awesome. Well, look, I look forward to trying it. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
thank you. All right. If there's no any additional comments, I'd entertain a motion. All right, I have a motion, a second, to approve the hotel and restaurant on-premise liquor license for Aritos Taco Shack LLC located at 2909 37th Street. And go ahead and vote. All right, and that motion passes 7-0. All right, next item, new business item number 9A, consideration of ordinance number 846-25, establishing section 10.04.090 of the Evans Municipal Code, first reading. I'll turn it over to staff.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council. This is an ordinance that adds state provisions regarding traffic enforcement for being able to bring into the municipal court license plate requirements under state law, prohibiting driving under restraint, which is driving without a valid license or temporary permit. And in the past, those cases have not come into the municipal court. They've been written to the county court or just dropped altogether. And with this ordinance, which I drafted with the chief of police, we will add a provision into the municipal code to allow those state traffic violations to be written into the municipal court. That concludes my remarks. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it. Any questions or comments of staff? Councilmember Neal, here's your, use your request to Councilmember Fair. Go ahead.
My primary question of this, it looks like under the license plate display requirements and the vehicle registration requirements, it talks about every motor vehicle operated upon the streets of the city. But would this also apply to parked vehicles or just abandoned vehicles, anything like that? Any vehicles that might be left unattended anywhere on the city right away?
That operation would apply only to the operation of vehicles, but there's a subsection C that states that all motor vehicles subject to registration shall be registered within 90 days of residency unless otherwise required under Colorado law. So that would apply to parked vehicles that are not registered.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Councilmember Johnson.
Similar. And then also, just to clarify, this is exclusively the language just for traffic enforcement, that's it, correct? I mean, license plates and nothing else, nothing in regards to what we discussed at work session.
No, this is a separate matter than the automated system. These are for driving and vehicle traffic enforcement. But it would apply to parked vehicles that are not registered as well, as that would now be enforceable in the municipal court.
Perfect, thank you.
Councilmember Delaney.
Yes, in regards to the driving while suspended, doesn't that have the potential for jail time?
Any offense that would have the potential for jail time would be written into county court. It's only a certain subset of those that are non-alcohol driving under restraint that would be written into the municipal court. If anything does carry jail time, if it's a misdemeanor, that would be written into the county court.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Neal.
Yes, I need some clarification from the city attorney. Did I understand you to say that previously some of these cases were being dropped for various reasons?
I'm not sure about that, but these charges, when they arise, there was not a way of writing them into the municipal court up until this point because our municipal code didn't include these state level offenses. I think in the past they were written into the county court and not the municipal court, but now these types of offenses can be written into the municipal court along with whatever other speeding violations or other types of traffic violations that have occurred.
So that will make it simpler for us to make sure that these cases are prosecuted rather than forwarding them to the county court, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, seeing no other questions or comments, I would entertain a motion. All right, I have a motion, a second, to approve ordinance number 846-25 to establish section 10.04.090 of the Evans Municipal Code on first reading. Go ahead and vote. And that motion carries 7-0. All right, thanks, Drew, appreciate it. All right, next item on the agenda, item number 9B, consideration of ordinance number 847-25, amending Title II of the Evans Municipal Code to establish and alter administrative departments of the city. First reading, we'll turn it over to staff.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. This is an item that I'm bringing to you to look at the administrative departments of the city. So to set the stage, pursuant to the Evans Municipal Charter, Section 4.1, the City Council, you can see in the red bolded, the City Council may establish, alter, consolidate, or abolish administrative departments by ordinance. Going down further, operations of departments, city manager shall have the right to divide such departments into separate divisions. So setting the stage for the discussions that lie before us. So the impacts to the organization for this restructuring of the organization are twofold. Number one, structural changes to the organization. You'll see as we go through the discussion, what I'm proposing to do is move facilities maintenance from the Community Development Department to the Public Works and Utilities Department. With that, eliminate the engineering division from the Public Works and Utilities Department and create the engineering department dedicated to overseeing the design, construction, and rehabilitation of public infrastructure, developing and implementing a capital improvement plan to address deferred maintenance, and completing the development plan reviews and utility permit reviews. I do believe that this better aligns the departments and the divisions to achieve the desired results, but also to achieve City Council's goals for the community. Then the second impact of the organization will be the amendments to Article 2 of the Evans Municipal Code to align the structure of the organization with the intent of our adopted city code. So as we move forward with the proposed structural changes to the organization, this may be hard to see and I apologize for that, but this is the organization as it exists today. And this is effective June 16, 2025, but you can see the primary departments in the city would be community development, finance, economic development, police, and public works and utilities, also with human resources and safety and risk falling under the city manager's office. What I'm proposing here, or what I'm showing in the orange colors here, I'll show here in just a second, but these are the two primary areas of the organization that would be impacted by this change. So as we move forward to the proposed organizational structure, what I'm showing is, you can see right here, facilities maintenance division moves from community development over to public works and utilities. But the bigger change would be this change right here. So the engineering department, what I'm proposing is the creation of the engineering department, separating public works and utilities from the engineering division, and creating its own standalone department with a director that would report to me. So then as we move forward, this is the exact same view, but what I'm showing here, and I apologize, this is hard to see, but under the field services division, going back to our discussion last Tuesday night with Public Works and some of the changes that we've made there, underneath field services division, we'd have fleet maintenance, parks maintenance, street and stormwater maintenance, and then water distribution. And one other thing that I do want to point out, and I'll just go back to maybe a better view, is the water conservation. What I'm proposing, water conservation right now reports through engineering. I would propose that to report to the Public Works and Utilities Director because of that, the tie to utilities, which I think is probably the most germane place for it in the organization. So then as we move forward, the proposed changes to the Evans Municipal Code. When I started this project, I was focused right here on 2.13, on the engineering department, creating the engineering department. But while I was in the code, I wanted to go through and just review all the administrative departments and make sure that city code was as up to date as possible with the changes that have been made in the organization to reflect the administrative state that we have today inside the organization. So as we go through these, what I'm proposing is to amend Chapter 2.08, the Department of Finance, and the most substantive change with this is changing Finance Director to Chief Financial Officer. This is a change that I've recently made, designating Jackie as our Deputy City Manager / Chief Financial Officer. And I've also put some language in to be consistent with other directors that says, that allows me to provide additional responsibilities either through me, through my office as city manager, or by ordinance. 2.09, 2.10, and 2.11 impact human resources, information technology, and economic development. And these are really housekeeping changes as well, because what I'm proposing with this is really bringing them more in line, making them more consistent with the other the administrative departments in the code. So you can see I'm defining the director position and hierarchy in that those directors report to the city manager, but then also identifying what the director's responsibilities are. That way we have that codified, similar to the other department directors. As we move forward to 2.13, engineering department, you can see I'm proposing that we establish the engineering department, separate this from public works and utilities, as I mentioned. The engineering department's focus is project management for the design, construction, and rehabilitation of public infrastructure, development plan reviews for economic development, permit reviews for utility and right-of-way projects, but then also development and implementation of a capital improvement plan to address growth-related and deferred maintenance needs in our public infrastructure. As we've gone through the budget discussions for 2026, most recently as earlier this evening, we've talked about the deferred maintenance in our system, and I believe having that director of engineering, having that dedicated department focusing on not only growth-related need, but also the existing and deferred maintenance needs throughout the community is important. Chapter 2.14, Community Development Department. Right now, this is contained within Chapter 2.22, which is as it's written today, the Department of Public Works and Planning, and we'll get to more about that here in just a moment. But again, what I'm proposing to do is move this out from Public Works, create its own standalone section in the code because it is its own department. But then also identify the department, but also the director responsibilities, similar to other administrative directors. And then, as you can see in the second bullet point, removing that from section 2.22 and making that clear distinction from Public Works and Utilities from planning. 2.20 in our code is the Department of Public Utilities. I propose that we repeal 2.20 in its entirety. Public Works is rolled into chapter 2.22, Public Works and Utilities Department. Chapter 2.22, I'm proposing we amend 2.22, remove planning from Public Works and add the responsibility for utilities. The primary focus by removing engineering is the focus on the maintenance and operations of public utilities. We have a lot of big projects that we're working on throughout the community, but also within our utility system, such as the wastewater treatment plant. So the public utilities include stormwater drainage, water distribution, wastewater collection and treatment, and then I have, as I mentioned, water conservation in there as well. This also includes responsibilities for park maintenance in the field services division for improved synergy between the operations subdivisions. Includes maintenance of all city-owned or maintained buildings, grounds, including the community complex, parks, and cemetery. And then, as I mentioned, remove community development department, which is now 2.22.040 from Public Works, and create the standalone community development department in chapter 2.14. And then lastly, repeal chapter 2.23, Parks and Recreation in its entirety. Parks maintenance has been moved to the Public Works and Utilities Department under the Field Services Division, and then the Recreation Division has been moved to Community Development Department. One of the big projects, as you know, that we're getting ready to start in the Recreation Division is the Park System Master Plan. So there is a correlation between recreation planning, but also recreation and community growth and the importance thereof. Mr. Mayor, that's all I have. I'll yield back to council for questions.
Great. Thank you, Cody. Great presentation on there. All right. So if anybody has, it kicked me out again. Jeez, this is the second time. I was going to hit the request to speak, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that while I try to log back in. Cody, great presentation. I really appreciate the realignment and the restructure of the organization. Based on this, I know you and I have had quite a few conversations. I think this is a really good idea. It aligns the departments with the appropriate staff. It allows the staff and the department directors to focus on their specialty. I think the creation of the engineering director is great, considering how many projects we have going on in engineering, and it really takes a professional engineer to really take a look at that department and make sure it's run efficiently. I know Ty's done a great job with that being under him and under his alignment, but I know as the Public Works and Utilities Director, he has other things to focus on, and that will take away some of his, allow him to change some of his focus and realign to those other departments in that facility there. I think you're doing a great job of realigning the organization to make it work more efficiently and more effectively. I know there's a lot of things and projects that we need to get taken care of. There's a lot of deferred maintenance, and this really will help solidify that and allow those focuses to be where they need to be. So I'm in favor of this. Good job on it. So
Thank you.
Councilmember Johnson.
I echo what you said, but I also wanted to state that, although we're up here and we observe always, and we're always looking at making sure how, if you're smiling, how you're looking, we're observing. And ultimately, we want to make sure that your plate is not super full, and I do appreciate Cody making sure that it's balanced as best it can be, because we know in this kind of work there's no such thing as balance, but you try your best, and I hope that you see this as that attempt, because ultimately we do care about your workload, we care about how much you have going on, we understand that you're stretched thin, we know that there's a lot of complexity in what you do, but just know that we appreciate you. You know, we appreciate the leadership that we put in place, and in hopes that it all works as it should, and I know it will. And I'm excited to see, you know, what will happen with this new org chart. So awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Neal.
Yes, Cody, while you're taking a look at the parks, I would like to see something done about that little piece of land at the end of Rachel Court that's supposed to be a park. I don't know how the city would actually divest itself of that little chunk of land, but I think something should be done about it to officially eliminate it as a park. It's if I remember correctly, it's only about 8 or 10 feet wide.
Okay. So correct me, or refresh my memory, Rachel Court would be north of 40th Street off 17th Avenue, is that correct?
Yes, it's on
Just
the
north
west
of
side of
40th?
17th Avenue, about a block. It's kind of cat-a-corner from 38th Street Road.
Okay, yeah, we will definitely take a look at it.
All right, any other additional questions or comments? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion. All right, I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 847-25, amending Title II of the Evans Municipal Code to establish and alter the administrative departments of the city, first reading. Go ahead and vote. All right, and that motion passes unanimously, 7-0. All right, great, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, next item on the agenda, report, city manager.
I do not have anything tonight, Mayor.
All right, great, that was easy, all right. City attorney.
I do not have anything.
Even better, all right. All right, next item on the agenda is council discussion. So I'll just bring up something that we discussed at our special work session last Tuesday, and that I know we were talking about NISP, and I wanted to publicly convey, if the rest of the council is in favor of this, is our intent to withdraw out of NISP and seek possible other solutions and alternative to water sources. That was my first thing. Does anybody on council still agree or disagree with that?
I agree.
All right,
I
so put that on the record.
disagree.
What's that?
I disagree.
You disagree? Okay.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, can you, I was just gonna ask,
I'm
can
like,
you
can you
elaborate?
elaborate?
Well, I left all my notes at home on this, but basically, I don't think that we should be possibly taking a loss of the taxpayers' money on this by trying to get out of it. I think we need to do a little bit more investigation on to whether or not Loveland Fort Collins is actually going to withdraw, or if they're actually just making a ploy to try to get better terms for participating in this.
So you did read that the cost of NISP is now ballooned to over $2.2 billion, and the city's obligation, if we were to stay in it, would be over $87 million. We have invested $6 million. Where would 80 plus million dollars come from to pay for our share of the project, and how would you put that on taxpayers if we remained in it?
So, how are you going to answer the taxpayers when the city's already spent $6 million or more?
6 million to possibly look at other alternatives rather than a $500+ a month water bill to pay for a project that may never come to fruition. Good.
But we're not going to just walk away, right? We're going to try to sell
Yes.
our share. So we're not just going to lose the money. We're going to try to get out what
Much
we
as we
put
can
in.
back from it.
That is not what the mayor said in the last work session.
You
No.
wanna
Said
elaborate
we'd be
that?
willing to
Yes.
take a loss.
We would probably take a loss on what we've invested. However, I said we could probably look at ways to sell some of our water shares and get some return out of it, but there will probably be some type of loss We're probably not gonna recuperate all of the 6 million. We may recuperate a big portion of it, but not all of it. But $6 million to maybe get, we'll just say $2 million back is better than a $500 a month water bill for residents to pay for an $87 million share of our portion of the project for over a $2.2 billion project. That's not also include the $100 million lawsuit that we would have to pay into as well.
So we're gonna look at maybe investing in some other water project that's.
That's for us to decide as a council as a whole. Yeah.
Gonna come to fruition or
That's for
be
us
able
to
to
look
get
at.
the
a
water
whole-
here to have it treated and
Tell me where
put on the
87,
lawns.
okay, well then tell me where $87 million comes from.
I don't know. I ain't got it in my back pocket.
Well, I think you do have a point. I mean, I think that the discussion, last council, we did, have the conversation of possibly looking at different ways, different means of acquiring water, whether it's, this project is something that we need because we're thinking about future growth in X amount of years. But you're correct. Those are discussions that we definitely need to have.
Well, I would remind the council of a conversation by some high school graduates in 1968 and about what the future would look like in 50 years. And one person popped up and said, well, we're going to be like LA. We're going to go from Cheyenne all the way to Albuquerque. And old Tommy Turner said, well, that kind of depends on the water. And that's what drives, is the ability to drive growth, is having the water supply. And there's been some discussion on the Colorado River that we may have to be putting more water down the Colorado River, and we're going to get less water to have Greeley treat. So I think we need to have a lot more discussion about this issue and do some serious looking into some other water sources. But I'm not in favor of just arbitrary saying, well, let's forget the $6 million or whatever and pull out.
We're saying we can explore how to get some of our money back. Cody, go ahead. Sorry.
Mr. Mayor, I see there's two different conversations or two different strategies taking place at one time. There's whether or not to stay in the NISP project and what that means for what we've invested in the shares that the city has. But then on the other side of it, the staff and council have had discussions, and we are working towards gathering more data, economic data on the availability of water and what that looks like. That staff will bring back to the city council here in the near future once that report has been completed, so then we can further that discussion as to what does the future of Evans Water look like. But I would also suggest that the council be thinking about, and this is purely a policy decision, but what is it that the city council wants to achieve as it pertains to water? Does the city council want to make water readily available for development, or is it the developer's responsibility to bring water to the city and dedicate those shares to the city to cover the demand for their respective subdivision? And so that is a policy decision that the city council is going to have to really provide staff guidance on. But as it pertains to this, Councilman Neal, I see we've got the NISP discussion taking place, but at the same time running in parallel, we've got a totally different discussion about strategy and future availability of additional water resources that we are looking at and gathering data on. So
I think it was all kind of summed up into the same conversation is why I think it's being brought up. But I think, we did request more information about like the area, and it's going to be brought back. And I think we don't have all the information exactly right now to take on the water sources conversation. I mean, I think right now it's really just the NISP, but it's really kind of stating that, yes, we are looking into possibilities. Once we get data, then we will make decisions based on what's best for the city.
All right, and my last part of the council discussion is on Thursday evening. I will be at Neville's Crossing, having a little community meeting with their residents to talk about the 1% street sales tax and what that looks like for us in the future. And then on Friday morning, I am going to go on to Pirate Radio with our friends at the Chamber and discuss our 1% street sales tax as well, and kind of get that information out there as well. So looking forward to having that conversation with the radio and with the Chamber as well. So looking forward to
If
tuning
there's
in
any
at
talking points that you would like, let me know.
I'll get with you on that later. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And Thursday, what did you mention at Neville's Crossing?
I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock, just talking to their residents.
Are you going to provide info to the council regarding that?
Yeah, I'll give you info after my conversations with them. Yep, absolutely. That's all I have. Anybody else?
That meeting posted Thursday so that other council members can attend it?
It's
or-
not, they invited me to it's not for, they just invited me to talk to their residents, so, yeah. Councilmember Johnson, then we'll go to you. She had her hand up first.
So I just wanted to mention that, Cody came to the Citizens Transportation Advisory Board meeting at the end of last month. The presentation was great. I think I did mention to Cody that it would be great to see that presentation, the council to also see that presentation, because it was kind of invigorating just to see all the amazing projects that we have completed. And we never get the presentation as a whole. It's always like, parts here and there that we get to see. So it was a great presentation. Everyone really embraced it. They're excited for the city and all the things that we're doing. And I think although our city is not big in respect to the city of Greeley, there's a lot that we are doing. And I know we do have deferred maintenance, but our deferred maintenance in comparison to a bigger city is like minimal, but we do have it, and there is definitely a need. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for coming to that meeting. And it was also mentioned that Cody will be coming in, or Cody, or if you delegate that responsibility to someone else, to present twice a year. So that's what was mentioned. So they can have a pulse on what the city of Evans is doing. I also wanted to mention another thing, that on September 6th, there's going to be Fiesta a la Plaza at Centennial Village. It's from 3 to 6 p.m. It's a family-friendly event, free of charge. And the reason why I bring that up, because a Mexican-American History Project alongside Greeley Museums published a book. It's 40 stories of Mexican Americans within our area. I'm included in that, so there is a part of my story, and it's just really amplifying and elevating voices. They'll be selling the book there, but then it also will be created into a curriculum that would be used within D6, so with D6 starting with high school. And that is all that I have.
All right, Councilmember Delaney.
Okay, I'm going to start by asking Mr. Lyman a couple questions. So, Drew, I spent the weekend hanging out with Mr. Bob and talking about his rules. So I want to verify, we are under the order of Bob's rules, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and it seems to me that Bob's rules say that when you get given the floor by the chair, you're allowed 5 minutes. And then if you, at the end of 5 minutes, you lose the right to the floor at that time. But then you have a chance to get the floor again after every other member has had their opportunity to have the floor. Is that correct?
The rules state that each member has up to 5 minutes. Those rules can be waived by the chair, in just the normal course of business. But generally applicable rules is that each person has up to 5 minutes, and that each person has an opportunity to speak and shall not retake the floor again, unless all other members have had an opportunity to speak.
So now I will talk to you guys.
Okay.
What I'm kind of proposing is we already have a timing system right here. But we unfortunately have it set to 2 minutes. What I'm suggesting is that we ask the city to look into how can they change it to 5 minutes to match what our rules of order say, and then that we start actually sticking to that. And again, it's not to silence anybody, but it's to make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak. I mean, a great example of it just was, we had 3 great presentations, so everything went over. And I think that some people were rushed to speak tonight, and so I just think that's where it can help. The entire point of rules of order to a meeting is to try to efficiently run meetings. And I think that would just help our interaction.
So are you proposing to include that 5 minutes in our work sessions then?
I would, yes.
I have no problem entertaining it. I think that's probably a pretty good idea.
So, anybody have any thoughts?
Councilmember Fair? What are your thoughts?
I agree.
Mayor Pro Tem?
I agree.
I agree, but I also want to add, I think it's great. And are you also considering that same structure for work session?
Yes.
Yes. And I didn't hear that part. Sorry, because you're
Yeah,
like
you're
way
good.
over there. I'm trying to hear.
You're good.
But so with that said, I just wanted to also add, because technically it's 7 of us, so it's 35 minutes. So just know that when you present, there's 35 minutes additional per presentation that is needed for every single person to have the
Potentially.
ability to speak. That's all I'm bringing up.
Councilmember Neal, your thoughts on it?
Well, I think that we definitely need to have a more structured, instead of this trying to outshot each other all the time, especially in executive sessions and sometimes in the work sessions.
Okay. All right, can we look into doing that? Awesome, great, thank you. Anything else?
Nope.
Anybody else have anything? Go around the room. All right, with nothing else up for discussion, thanks everybody for attending.